All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We're really excited to have Amira Gadd on with us, who Rebecca and I have some history with through Catch the Moon and a sync licensing program that we took together. How long ago now was that? Gosh, a
I
year, 2 years? I can't keep track of time anymore. 2 years
two years.
ago. But yeah, we're really excited to have you on and to chat about sync licensing and your history in that area of the music scene. And if people aren't familiar yet with Pandion, I just wanted to give a little background on us and what we've been doing the past few months. I guess in September was our official launch, but we are a free online platform empowering artists as they navigate the music industry through educational resources, workshops, wellness guidance, and direct access to experts. So we're working to break down those barriers between emerging artists and industry professionals to help people from all backgrounds have access to the information they need to grow their careers and to learn how to make a living from their music and sustain that momentum and their growth. So, yeah, we're really excited to have Amira here. She's a songwriter and lyricist, a versatile talent inspired by everything and everyone around her. She's also an executive producer, taking a song idea and completing it from A to Z. And recently, Amira has started becoming a mentor, a consultant, a panelist, moderator, speaker in the sync world, and shares what she knows about the music industry with others eager to learn. And you've also been involved with Guild of Music Supervisors, I believe, which is really
I'm a
cool.
member. Not a member. I'm a FOG, a friend of the guild. But I've been, yeah, the same, right? So,
Yes,
but
the same.
I was volunteering a lot, so I look like I'm part of the whole thing. They actually asked me to be part of their social media team and all this stuff, but um, I went crazy with it, so they never asked me again. But it's not for another. No, the reason why they asked me to be honest is like, Amira, you're what? What is it that they said? I make noise in the chat. And they, yeah,
Oh.
and so I went on, yeah, and I last year's awards,
Were you
and
like you were
they
like the
had me
chatty
like,
kid at the
Amira,
front of the
yeah,
class?
go on Twitter and go on Facebook and go like, what I mean? And so I went all out, and I think, yeah, but it's okay. But
Yeah.
they asked me again to. I was actually personally invited to volunteer for this one. The awards coming up in this Sunday.
I'll see you there.
Oh,
I'll see you there. Amira,
great.
I'll see you there.
Oh, yay! Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was also recently invited to in the Recording Academy to be a voting member. And so this year's awards,
Congrats.
I was one of the people who voted for who should be nominated for the Grammys and also who should win.
Cool.
So
Wow,
that was like,
amazing.
I know.
Congrats. That's really cool. Was
I'm
it fun
surprised
to be
too.
involved?
You know what?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. Was it fun to be involved? That was this year already?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, when
cool.
you started last year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, great.
So you started last year, and then think the last voting is supposed to be submitted for like the awards itself, like the final would be like January 6th, but I did everything in December,
Yeah.
by
Wow,
December.
cool.
But yeah. Cool.
Very
Okay.
cool. That's great. And then are you still working for, I think you said you had been working for Garrett Woosh Trailer for motion pictures. Is that something that you're still involved with, or are
Oh,
you?
no, no, I don't work for him anymore. And I used to work for Jody Friedman as well for a music license, and I don't anymore.
Okay, so you're just
uh,
doing like just freelance and all your own stuff now at this
yeah,
point? Yeah.
freelance. And I have my own podcast called Serendipities to Success,
Yeah.
and that's a fun one. And
Cool.
I have a lot of projects going on these days, and I have a big
Yeah.
announcement coming up soon. Once it's done, then I'm gonna tell everybody what it is. So
Great.
yay.
That's exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like you have so much going on. Very cool stuff, all of it. But I would love to hear more kind of about how you got started in the sync world and what led you to that as an artist. I always like to hear that story from people.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I'm hands-on more, and I used to be an art director until 7 years ago, I think, 2017. I decided I wanted to be in the music industry professionally. I used to work like write lyrics and songs or poems when ever since I was a little girl, but I never thought of it as a career. And then just only 7 years, 2017, where I decided, oh, I wanted to like I want to be a lyricist and give songs to artists, major artists. I had never heard of sync before, and never took music classes. I only took one piano class. I used to play piano by ear just for fun. But I never, I mean, I'm not like a lot of the artists out there, a lot of people are classically trained or they know an instrument or anything. I've just, my talent is more like I just, in my heart, I knew this is what I should do, and I should try. And since I was almost turning 40 during that time, I'm in my mid 40s now. I didn't have anything to lose in terms of, let me just try it, right? And so when I set the intention to decide to do this, I felt like the doors were open. I gave myself 300 doors to open, and by door 4, doors starting to open. And I thought, okay, there must be some. That's why I did the podcast about serendipities to success, because I wanted people to pay attention to things that, like when you work on something that you love and it comes easy to you, meaning like in like, oh, you sing and you love it and you enjoyed it, but it's easy for you, right? Because nothing in life is easy, right? You have to kind of do the work regardless. So I decided to take a class to learn about the music industry, which is publishing and writing and stuff. And then just like one thing led to another until someone told me, why don't you consider sync? Because I was concerned that I was just like, okay, I live in Laguna Hills, I'm not in LA. I'm very hands-on mom. I really want to pick up my kids from school and drop off. There's a personal reason for that. Just wanted to make sure that I look over them, and then it just, what happened was, when I heard about sync, I thought, okay, this sounds like a passive income that I can do, and I don't have to sing horrible. Like if I try to sing, your monitors will crack right now. So please don't encourage me. And I'm not a music producer. And so I have to hire people to do that. And I had saved some money from my last work a long time ago. And so I decided to create demos so I can give it to like record labels. And what happened was, for 5 demos that were not even done right, and I thought that was right, I paid $11,000 for 5 demos. Literally, yeah.
Wow.
I did, and I thought that was normal, and I thought, and that was everything that I had. And of course, you guys would know the shock of like when I was trying to take it to ASCAP, and people were like, demos, and then I just didn't know. I mean, I bought a book from Barnes and Noble thinking that this was supposed to be reading books in Barnes and Noble about the music industry. But what made a difference with me is that when I started taking mentorships. So when I later on, I took a first mentorship with the business, like I told you, a music business. And then later on, I heard about Kathy Heller's program, Catch the Moon. And when I finally was able to take that class, and then I went into like different songwriting retreats, starting to get to know people here and there. And I thought it was fun because it just like felt I was among the people that I wanted to be among with. Creative people have a really beautiful energy. I'm here, I'm always doing laundry and like cooking and doing stuff. So I don't mind being car sick, driving all the way to LA, 3 hours just to be 1 hour among people who are like talking about songs and melodies. And it's so la like compared to like smelling like onions, right? So, but I'm just like, so that was like, so the more I get to know people in the industry, the more I get excited, and it showed on me, right? And when I decided to learn about sync, I took it serious. Literally, I would just show up in every single meeting, or every single brief, or every single assignment we're supposed to do. I made sure that I did it, and I finished it, and I completed it. Every single book about sync I read, every single article, literally 7 days a week for 2 years. I made sure that this is something that I was I was so interested in. Nobody was pushing me. This is something that I really wanted to do. And there's a lot of like social invitations that I was supposed to go to, I didn't. Friday nights, instead of going to whatever, like I would sit down and make sure that I attended anything that has to do with the music industry, webinars and whatnot. So, so that's how I ended up being in sync. And so what happened was, because I put that effort in, my intention was really getting to know everybody. And then also when I get to know people, whether it's an artist or music supervisor or music producer, I'm very genuine in terms of I really care. It's just like, it's not like a hit and run kind of like, oh, I want something from you and then I'm done kind of thing. I like to keep in touch with people as much as I can. And so a lot of the music supervisors felt that with me. Like at first when you make mistakes, as like you reach out to them and nothing is ready and stuff. So, and I have my master's in business. And I think this is what helped me organize myself a little bit in terms of looking at this as something. My intention was to monetize, like to do something that I love and to monetize. And I realized with a lot of artists that I worked with at the beginning that they love working on a song, but it's never finished. It's never completed. It's always put on a shelf. Or if it's completed, everybody's like, it's like, so it takes a long time, or it's just like, or like a lot of artists or singers don't have their stems from the producer. And they were like, can I have them? I'm like, what? like what? And then a lot of people don't even mention master ownership. And so I found myself along the way teaching a lot of people what they should do. Whatever I was applying to myself, I was trying to tell people, you should do this, you should do it this way. And what happened was, here I am, someone who never took the traditional route of musicians or anything, but I started getting sync placements. And the reason why is because I looked at it as a business in addition to something that I love to do. I didn't look at it as a hobby. My intention wasn't to come here as a hobby. My intention is to really make a career out of it. And so I always tell artists, I mean, I'll have a lot of people tell me like, okay, how come you're able, like I had someone like, I do sync consultation. So I had someone tell me like, oh, I've been in the industry for 30 years and I wasn't able to do what you did in a short time. And so I was trying to shift that mindset of, if you look at it as instead of like having them look at you gotta have to look at them and see what they need. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the music supervisor either. It's about the project itself and what the investors in the project and the directors and the producers are. And so a lot of people think music supervisors are the end goal, but it's not. They're not the end goal. They're actually the beginning. You giving them your song and they finally listen to it, that's your responsibility. But the music supervisor's responsibility now is to take the few good ones that were given to them from thousands of other artists, not you only, but thousands. And whatever goes here, they're gonna be going to the director and the investor the same way that you're trying to get to them. Do you see? Like, so we as artists to music supervisors are how music supervisors are to investors. And so they have to do the same amount of work trying to get their attention. Look at me, I can do this for you, And so, and once, because they have all these other people too, trying to give directors and investors songs as well. So it's not, I mean, yes, music supervisors can be on the project, but there's also other sources that come in. And then in the music supervisors, they also don't just rely on one source. Like say, for example, you as an artist or one sync agencies, they look around, they have certain good connections with certain people and that they trust. Because at the end of the day, as much as the song is great, it has to be clearable, as in no attachments whatsoever. And that's what's mind-blowing about this whole system and this whole game, that because of so many lawsuits, they have reached to the point that they actually care about the song being clearable more than how good it is, kind of thing.
Wow.
And then also dealing with the artists themselves and their attitude. if you're nice enough and you're easy and you understand that sometimes you can't get the amount of money that you want, and you kind of get, and like kind of like in a way that you trust them to do their best to make everything work, and that you're personable and you understand that even if your song is great, but then that one lyric could ruin the whole thing, would you change it? And you're open-minded. That's what they love. Otherwise, if you're gonna be, there was this one guy who actually did not want to change one word, and he didn't care. It was $30,000 placement. And
Wow.
I think the music supervisor was so pissed because he really liked the song and he couldn't believe how arrogant this person was. But yeah, so some people are like that. But do you think they're gonna go back into them and ask again? Of course not. Yes, right.
Yeah.
You're gonna change all the words for 30K. I'll do it for 3,000 even.
Yeah.
Not even 30K. So
Well, that's what you hear a lot in the industry. I feel like it's not being like too precious about your songs. If you have precious songs, that's okay, but maybe not to use those for sync, or just to have something that works for that. And in that case, like something like that, where you don't want to be too married to something that you're not willing to negotiate with people around it.
You can always write new songs as well. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on what you want at the end. Do you want to make
Mm.
money and you want to have your song being heard by all these people, and look at it from a mindset of, something's got to give, or like it's different in a way that, okay, you change a little bit of this, you let go of your ego and you make it, you're selling, you're your own CEO, you're selling your product. This is a product and a service, you're selling it. You want to be a good salesman, you want to make money, this is how it's done. So as a CEO, you have to be your own marketing department, your own is financial advisor, your own everything, right? And then you just make it move. Otherwise, and then by the way, a lot of people don't know what genre I am, that I really love. Nobody knows, because I'll tell you why. I'm an alternative rock kind of person. But if you look at my Spotify, you're not going to see an alternative rock, because I made the decision that I will listen to what they want. And when I came into sync about 3-4 years ago, what they wanted was R&B, hip hop, rap, mostly, because Cardi B was so in. And then that year, Lizzo started to be in. So and I decided to go with that and see. And I never knew that I could write an R&B song, and I did. I was so happy. It's actually one of my favorite ones. And then the other songs that I've done, and I've gotten placements, so how do I do it? It's like, I don't really try to tell them, but this is me. And by the way, in sync, you have to be a go-to person, meaning as an artist, if you're a singer or vocalist, you have to be a go-to, meaning you have to be known or brand yourself as the kind of genre that you are. I didn't want to limit myself.
mm-hmm.
And I've had music supervisors don't like or comment, because at the very beginning, what my mistakes was I would send them, like, say, a catalog that had different kinds of genres. And I would say, like, oh, I write all kinds of genres. But I learned along the way, after that music supervisor kind of called me out in front of people at an event, by the way. And I was like, okay. But I'm glad she did, because the reason why I'm glad she did is because when I listened to what she paid attention to what she meant. I didn't, you cannot take things personal. You have to understand why they're saying these things. I shifted a little bit of how I approach things, and that's what became better. So what I did is, I don't want to limit myself, but I want to be a go-to person. So and I've been collaborating left and right. I was just like, I love doing that. So I found that I ended up having like over 100 fully produced radio ready songs, and they're different genres. So now I have songs that are in different catalogs. So I have an R&B catalog, I have a hip hop catalog, I have a sports catalog, I have this. And so I shift a camouflage according to, so some people know that I have this, some people know I have that, some people know I have that. I don't put all of my eggs in one basket. So if you are just one kind of person, good for you, and you focus on finding projects and supervisors who are looking for that in particular.
That sounds like an amazing way to do it, just like trying to spread
Did I
yourself
answer your
into
question? I
as
feel
many.
like I went left and right.
No, that's great. Do that as much
Right.
as you
You
want.
gotta stop me. You gotta stop me because I can go forever.
Well, Amira, you covered it. I think in our groups we have the two. We have more than two, but we do have the ones that are writing for sync, and then we have the artist. So, and I think it's okay. We've all, acknowledged that everyone that wants to stay the artist and follow their brand or their sound is fine. It's just they're not going to get all the Easter egg bundles like you are, because you're spreading yourself, opening yourself to all the possibilities, working, collaborating, doing what you're doing, and working literally your butt off, and learning the industry so well. So I mean, kudos to you for that, and it's such an inspiration to hear your story, for anyone who really wants to make money or make music into a business and take the route that you're taking and still love it. It's great.
You have to love it. And one of the reasons why a lot of people like working with me is because I'm always like a little girl in a candy shop, kind of.
Yes.
They don't understand how much I'm running. I don't mean to run away from the house, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's my me time. This is literally my me time. So it looks on me. So that's why I've had offers from music supervisors to work with them, or people telling other, like I've had Tracy McKnight, Hunger Games. She was looking for a coordinator. They pinged my name to her. They literally, I was given her so I can be her coordinator. And a lot of people wait for those type of position, even the one with the trailer editor. I was supposed to only be a metadata kind of person, just to go into the catalog and add metadata. In 2 weeks, I was hired to be the creative and client coordinator, where I directly dealt with the head of Lionsgate, the head of Disney, the head of everybody. Because the trailer editor he goes like, oh, Amira, he used a word, I don't remember what it was, but it was like something which meant like I'm really good and like talking, or like something which I never thought I did, honestly. But it's just, I think it's because I get super excited about like oh my God, like just like I get super excited. And so that energy is what's making people wanting to work with me. So as much of the so it's like, think about it like this, it's a pie, right? You have to be educated in sync. You have to really learn what sync is about, right? So I took the courses and I took the mentorships, and I went to conferences, and I went to events and webinars, right? So you guys have to do that. I did this because I loved it and I wanted to. And because I did that, and then you guys know, I mean, I know a lot of people, I have this notebook. It's me. I don't read it back because I can't read my handwriting, but I'm writing. And because I want to learn, right? And me writing it down makes me just kind of remember. But what was the question again? I'm so sorry.
Well, no, I mean, you're covering it all, and also
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's like anyone who's just excited and learning, the learning
Oh,
process,
yes.
learning. You're always learning.
Yeah, it's a pie. So the classes, right? The showing up, you got to show up, like how you guys showed up today. I bet you kind of learned like at least one thing from me that maybe that you kind of didn't do, or maybe didn't pay attention. But every time I showed up, even though the information is redundant, right? I always learn something new, even from one person. So and I looked at the investment of paying money in certain events. It gets expensive, and I'm not a music producer, so I have to pay producers and certain vocalists if I have to, or whatever. It gets expensive, and so it's just like a mindset. Do I want to pay money in this? Yes, I do. I really want to. And I would not like go shopping or not eat sushi. I gave up Starbucks. These all adds up, and I don't regret it a bit, because I don't remember what this stuff tastes like, right? But I mean, I do, because I love it. but I just want to say, it's like sometimes you got to give up something in order to do something else. I paid all of the $11,000 that this was my safety nest, and it's gone. It's not like it was, but what happened was, when I took my Catch the Moon classes, and eventually I got hired to be a mentor in Catch the Moon, and I got paid really well. And that money with certain things that I've been doing here and there ended up paying for everything that I've done. So it really comes back again, right? I
Yes.
mean, a lot of people were, it does. It really comes back. You just kind of have to implement what you learn. And that's one of the things that I've seen with a lot of artists who are not getting syncs per se or whatnot. They're not implementing or like they're not pivoting. If something's not working, there must be something that you need to do. So take a song, finish it from A to Z, add the metadata, and then do your research, right? You have to do the research the right way. So that way you're not throwing darts in the wrong direction. And then look at me, like I said, I don't have the experience that you guys have in terms of the education in music, and I'm a mom. So it's just like, how is it that I did this all? It's because you gotta have to shift, and you have to go after it. You have to go after the opportunity and be yourself. I feel like a lot of the things that happened with me, it's because I literally was being myself and focusing on what I'm doing, and people just paid attention. So
That's so good.
So
So
great
when you,
inspiration.
yeah, so Catch the Moon was a big inspiration with Kathy Heller and everything. Since then, now that you are where you are, do you still have any mentors that you have in your life, or maybe accountability partners, or you probably don't need it. You're probably your own accountability partner, but do you still rely or get guidance from people or folks that you have in the past, or new ones even?
okay, so I mean, I don't need to take any classes again, but I do show up at conferences and events. Because what's happening is, this is a lot of things that people think you just take one class and that's it. The problem is the industry is shifting so fast from the old music industry to the new one, like the traditional to the new one. And then you've got all this like all weird like AI digital crap that is like, I can't keep up, right? So I tried to do the NFT, like learn the NFTs and all this stuff. I can't. Like, okay, that's not me. It took me a year. I took classes for that, but it just didn't do anything for me. So I tried it. A lot of music supervisors left during the pandemic, and they started new jobs. So this is why you have to keep on keeping in touch and researching, because you don't want to send your song to someone that you heard in a conference last year and he left or she left that position somewhere else. You got to keep on your toes in terms of knowing who's doing what now. Literally today, I just like looked at someone who's the head of Clubhouse. She's becoming part of the sync agency, a new one. If I'm not on Instagram doing my research, or at least like keeping in touch with these people, I wouldn't know. It will be so stupid of me to say, hey, I want to do a podcast with you talking about, you and Clubhouse. And she's gonna be like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So the same thing. And a
Right.
lot of people change departments. I know someone who had a sync agency. Now she's a big music supervisor on Netflix. Do you see what I
Right.
mean?
Mm.
So
It seems
so
like the
that's it.
changes happen so fast too, and just like every day there's new stuff going on.
Right. I
Yeah,
think I think through conversation and through research, and if you don't know, there's a lot of tools you can find on supervisors or agencies and where they're at just by clicking on their website or just seeing what the latest is, which is
yeah.
On
really
the website, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but some of them don't update it
they
right
don't
away.
they don't update
Mm.
it.
And
Do you have any?
IMDb also does not update right away as well. So
Oh,
sometimes some things are
Mm,
like post-production, or the film is already done and released and they're saying that it's like in the middle of being produced, or some weird stuff. So
Do you have any like recommendations of like the best places to find that current information? Um,
social media,
or
I guess.
is it would it just be?
I do a little bit of everything. Like I said, I don't put my eggs at all in one basket. And I can show you, I worked on this little PowerPoint, but let me show you something. Let me share my screen and I'll talk while I'm, uh,
Perfect.
Great.
yeah. Hold
I
on a
love
second.
screen sharing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. Me
best.
too. But I'll tell you what I do, and then you guys can pick and choose whatever, because at the end of the day, it's whatever you want to do. So of course, everybody knows Tune Find, right? Oh wait, let me share.
Love to and find.
I love tune find. So for example, if it's just show, I like tune find because it just reminds me again if my songs are in the right direction, if I have the intention to, like, say for example, Grey's Anatomy, right? They have millions of songs, and it's almost the same, all kinds of like medical or like 911 or any of this stuff. It's the same thing. It's always like to start with a badass swagger song, right? And then after that, like some song that's like, they talk or whatever. And then after that, of course, an emergency, and then there's, so the song is shifting into more like, can that person make it, or like, I'm scared for you or whatever, right? So, and then it turns into singer-songwriter indie. If somebody died, it's sad. If somebody's like, it's hanging on to the life, it's hopeful. And then at the end, it's always two of the characters meeting at the stairs and they love each other, and it's always like this tension, whatever. And they, so that type, so it's always like that. It's very thematic, right? So you want to know what kind of, like, say for example, you were dying to put your song in Grey's Anatomy. So go into the last season. I like to go into the last season, just and see what songs have been played, and then it has a little bit of samples. Look at their titles, because they're all very it's just like, it's like feeling alright, right? Like feeling good. It's like you realize it's lyrical theme, right? Love, they always have some sort of love thing going on. Hope, right? Because somebody's either dying or about to die or might not to die. And then this is like the light, it's lost, it's nocturnal. So it's not hard. And mind you guys, you don't have to write songs for sync, because music supervisors don't like that. They like it when you're just being yourself. I was able, I love writing for briefs. I love it. That's my best songs come out like this. But I make sure it doesn't look like I wrote it for them unless it's a custom. And then over here, this is where, music supervisor, monster sector on the side. So this is the agency. The thing is about this, just like 2 seasons ago, there was another music supervisor. So it's so important that you keep on looking at it, because what if you looked at season 1 and you're trying to send your song to season 1, then guess what? You're singing it to the wrong kind of person. So that's like one. If you're a commercial kind of person, then you go to iSpot TV. Oops. And then like, let's assume you want to do car commercials or something. You have songs for cars. I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me just take this here. So maybe you just go in here. Whoops. Oh, the cookies thingy. And then maybe like say, for example, BMW, right? Let's see. So you try to go into over here to find who placed it, which agency placed it. When you click on here, and all the information is over here. It says agency, Goodbye Silverstein Partners. The fun thing about them is, like, if you want to see what other commercials they've done, you can see what other stuff they've done, and you'll see that they've done a lot of things. All right, let me try here. Can you see well?
Yes, this is great.
Okay. Yeah, so see, this is how you find this type of agency if you're just focusing on commercials. Look, they have BMW, they have Doritos, Capri Sun, Samuel Adams. Oops. So they are a good agency. They've done so many. So what you do is you try to see them, get to know who is in charge of the creative Lunchables, whatever, and then and see. But before you do that, make sure that you have the songs that you think are good. Like, don't waste their time and don't waste your time. Don't say, hey, I want to get to know you, unless you have something to show them that will blow their mind. Kathy, what I remember about Kathy used to always email them and tell them that, oh, hey, I'm gonna be at like, say, Ohio this weekend. I would love to get to know you, right? She shows them that she's traveling to them, so she get to know them. So most of her commercials were because she literally went to distance and traveled to them, establish a relationship with them by email first, and she would, like, I think during her time, she would have like a CD or something, and she would just go and, so from what I'm doing, I do that too. Like, for example, I'll give you an example of something that I do, which worked with me, which is, say, for example, I'm on a webinar, and there's one person that I really like what they said, loves coffee. And I just naturally, what I would do was to take screenshots of them while they're talking and then put it on my Instagram, right? Like on my stories. I do that for fun, just to show people. And then it turns out that they love it. They love that I tag them and whatever. And so what I would do is I would follow up with people that I'm interested to getting to know, or people that I thought they were interesting for me, regardless whether they are going to take my song or not, or regardless if my song is for them or not. It's just more, I'm a social creature. So I like to, and by I'm such an introvert. So it's weird to be a social creature and an introvert at the same time. But yeah, so mind you, I really worked hard on getting out of my shell. So I would like email them, oh my God, I loved what you said about X, Y, and Z, right? And then I heard that you loved coffee, you like drinking coffee. Here's a $5 gift card from Starbucks. I wanted to say thank you so much for letting me like think in this certain way, or something like this. So it's kind of like, you're showing them that you appreciate the fact that they took their time to be on this panel, and also that you paid attention to what they said, and then that you are thanking them with whatever. Even if you can't afford it, send them a meme or some, I don't know, whatever they love. Like, some people are like so into video games, and if you're into video games, then share a character that you like, or something that, or like if music supervisors, usually when an artist places a song, people always shout out to the agency or to the, sometimes the music supervisors or whatnot. So when I email someone that I genuinely very interested, I will tell them, I love the fact that you picked that particular song in this particular scene, because that song did this to me when the character did this to this character. And I mean it. I'm not faking it. I'm really showing that, oh my God, how did you even think of using this particular song at this particular moment when this and this? Do you see what I mean? So look at it as, treat others the way that you want to be treated, and put yourself in their shoes in a way. If you feel like there's something that really makes you happy when somebody does something to you, use that and treat the other the same way. Do you see what I mean? We're all humans.
So great.
Yeah. Okay, what else do I have here? I think I have something else. Oh, how do you know if this is something else that I like? Every day something's being canceled and renewed. So if you're working on a song for Southside, and by the time you're done after 6 months, but it's already canceled last semester or like last season, then you didn't do your research and people are going to block you. So this is where you get to the Rotten Tomatoes. Literally, this was 2 days ago. This was not here three weeks ago, because people, especially with the new seasons coming up in the filming and all this stuff. So this is how you know which one is renewed and which one is canceled.
Amazing. Great.
And this is where you also get to know other see like TV shows where you go like, oh, I have a song for Netflix season 1 1890, but it got canceled. You don't need to get bummed. Look at how many other over here. You can use that song that you made or you have for anything that's similar to it. Because there's a whole bunch of sci-fi, not just one. There's a whole bunch of reality TV. There's a whole bunch of cheesy Bridgerton stuff. I don't know. Like, I know. I know that Cobra Kai is going to be the last season for sure. They're not going to renew it. Let's see, Cobra Kai. Is it over here?
Oh,
Cobra.
yes.
Oh,
I
see,
saw-
yeah, it's done after the 6th and final. So yeah.
That's
So
great.
and and a
Yeah.
lot of people love Cobra Kai. So imagine if people still working on 80 songs and try to give them. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's such a helpful tool. I didn't even.
Yeah. It's good to be
this one
educated
is something
in
else that
that.
I like, MDIIO. The reason why, because people keep on asking me, how do you get briefs and whatnot? I have established a very close-knit relationship with a whole bunch of music supervisors that sometimes they would send me a brief if they don't have anything. But they don't do this with everybody. And I didn't even ask them to send me briefs. You cannot ask them that. So if you're doing all the good things, you never know who's going to ask you. However, if nobody asks you, this is a really good place to go. MDIIO. You go into projects and it lists the majority of, or like most of the briefs that are flying around. You can always submit the songs to them. It's free. However, MDIIO, their projects or like their briefs, they come, he lists them after the original ones are being circled around for like a week. So it's more like last minute kind of thing. I don't really submit a lot. I submitted once or twice, but I know how this works. So I don't really do. What I do is I go in to see if there's anything out there, to see what kind of lyrical themes that are being asked for these days, or keywords. Like, say, for example, this was February 14th. It was an ad looking for rock, swing, funk, soul tracks up to 6K all in, which means 3,000 for them, 3,000 for you and your collaborators. So if you want to know if you're like that type of person, you want to know. I have to, hold on, I have to log in again. I had it ready yesterday, so sign in. I want to read it to you so that way you understand what keywords are. Come on. Okay. It's confidential. It's US territory, so not worldwide. It's only for 1 year, and then perpetuity, of course, if it keeps on playing. Let me see over here on the side. It says, so this is the tags or the keywords: rock, funk, swing, soul. 3 songs, looking for a track that matches the mood shifts of the character's story. Initially feeling hopelessly stuck, then shifts once action is taken and finally moves into more promising aspiration notes. So obviously you start slow and then you start, building dynamics, right, into something inspirational. And then, I like to look at the references sometimes when I have time. First thoughts were towards classic rock and swing pieces. So this is a reference. We are open to vocal layers that they can add more textures, and then so these are the references. This is how you know what they're looking for. If you have something like this, you can try to see and dig who is the owner of this project, and you can try to see if you, but this is an example of one. You'll realize that there's like different kinds over here. Let me see, projects, back again. They had a Grey's Anatomy brief over here, and they were looking for 5 songs. They did not write Grey's Anatomy, but because I do my research all the time, I knew right away it was Grey's Anatomy. TV show looking for a harp song replacement. I don't know what that is. TV show looking for Lizzo's Girls replacement. So I've seen this in different platforms that I'm in a private group. Rap, hip hop, R&B, pop, rap. So if you have something like that, digital campaign. Sometimes I've seen a brief that was up to like 200,000 Canadian. So some are like small and some are big. But if you see, this one is 75K. This was an ad seeking for music for campaign, and they wanted something that has pop, mid-tempo, up-tempo, touching. So these are the keywords which you should use in the metadata when you're submitting something like that. And then let me see, what is it? If it tells you what kind of ad is this. And after that, we'll have 10 minutes for questions. Sorry, I know we're running out of time. So it's
No worries, great.
okay. Company, the reference track. Oh, Our House. I've seen this in another private group. Yeah, Our House, and then Stand By Me. Reasons they like these tracks: chorus and lyrics. The link between Our House and the story we're telling is super clear. We need a song that supports the theme of a family searching for the perfect home. So they don't want it to be too on the nose. So you don't use the word house or home, but something that is giving you that feeling of warmth and togetherness. So nostalgic, you want to make it feel nostalgic, warm, wistful, sweet, happy ending. Nothing too dramatic or trying. See, I like this one because there are other people who are asking, they want something that is purple or cinnamon. So this is way better, guys, way better than the other types of requirements. So that's it.
Great tool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think some of us saw some, when we took six-figure songwriting, we probably went through some of this, but it's so great to get like a little mini refresher.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's you have to just keep on doing it. Oh, what I wanted to show you guys before we leave, what I wanted to do is something that I wanted to share with you, because a lot of people ask me, like, how do I have the time to do all this stuff, right? Right, so hold on one second. I am really horrible. Like, don't laugh at my desktop. Just like, seriously,
Oh, I'm
I'm
the same. I'm the same.
I know, right? Hold on one second. I know. I promised myself last year that I was going to organize it, and every day is something new. Okay. I wanted to show you this. So what I do is can you see well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. What I wanted to do is I wanted to this is my mentality, the mindset, because my time is always so busy, right? I always look at it, okay, thank God we have 365 days, so I don't feel bad, right? And then there's 52 weeks. So if I feel like I'm running out of time, I go like, oh, if I can finish one song in 1 month, which is 4 weeks, and then I can do like something in another week or whatever. So I feel like when I have those type of numbers in front of me, or I have 12 months, if you're the kind of person who finishes something in a month, then you can do 12 things in a month. Like you can finish 2 songs and then maybe pitch like in another month, or you know what I mean? Like you don't just pick whatever you're good with, whether days, weeks, or month. And then the 1 hour is 60 minutes. So what I do is when I'm picking up my kids from school, that's like 15 minutes in the pickup line, right? I send an email, I respond an email, I send an idea to someone, I respond to a text message, or I send an email to a music supervisor because it takes 5 minutes, or I use those type of things to kind of squeeze in things, because this is how I work. I squeeze in what I do in the music into my life. It's not the other way around. I have a lot of responsibilities, so
it's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, so for me, I feel there's something else that I want to see. I have me. Yeah, so this one is Amira's 5 by 5 minutes. So yeah, so every day I put in at least 20 minutes. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes like in lunch, and then 5 minutes in the afternoon, and 5 minutes before I sleep. And this is what I do. I make sure in those 5 minutes I do this. Whether I go on Instagram and then comment on a music supervisor's post. And when I comment, I ask a question, so that way they prompts them to respond back to me and they remember my name like that. I didn't know this before. I just felt I've been doing it naturally until after a year, people kept on saying, "Are you Amira Gadd? I see your name everywhere." And this is how I found out it works. So I'm telling you what I did naturally, and it just happened to be something good. So, I would like, I always get lyrics ideas. So I just make sure that 5 minutes I wrote it down, because I know for a fact that I will forget, or 5 minutes to research, or 5 minutes to connect, or, so, 5 minutes to make sure that you fill out the split sheet and send it out, or 5 minutes to register your song in a PRO, whatever it is that you have to do, at least use those 5 minutes. Because when I break it out this way, I feel like I've accomplished something, instead of saying like, oh my God, I don't have time, how I'm going to do this kind of thing. Also, I wanted to mention something about mental health. In writing a sing song or doing anything that has to do with sync, you have to have thick skin and don't take anything personal. Nothing is personal in this business. It's all about the business. And it's not about you, it's about the project at the end. Because if you are able to provide something that will make the scene better, you are responsible of having people connected to the character and the scene. That way it will bring in the royalties for the show, or like the viewers, right? Like and especially, you see what I mean? So it's not about your song being that good, it's about your song making people view the show and talk about it,
Right.
because that will bring money to the investors. So, and don't compare your songs with others. Learn and ask questions, surround yourself with like-minded artists. I did that. I surrounded myself in the music community. I love it, and I'm always like excited. So we all make mistakes, guys. If you know the stuff that I've done before in terms of submitting and writing the cheesiest emails ever, thank God I learned. So I'll be personable and visualize where you want your song to be and have fun. This is the part that I like. I always visualize myself if my song is going to be in something like a video game, whatever. And I found myself writing a song because I visualized it there, so that's it.
Those are great tips. So important to remember that stuff.
Thank you so much, Amira.
Yeah,
Nice.
we can open up for a couple questions, maybe, if we've got a little extra time, if you're okay with that, Amira.
Yeah, 2 is good.
Just a couple. Yeah. It looks like Christine was asking, since you cover many genres and you're not the producer or artist, how do you brand yourself to the different libraries or soups that you talk to? Do you create different artists?
When you go to disco, like for example, if you, like I said, if you are specifically for sports, right? If you want to do sports and you want to have an NFL or what do you call it, Super Bowl, right? I almost landed a Super Bowl after the second. I think it was the second shot, and it was like a 10-second commercial, and it reached up to the spotting session. So I never thought in a million years that I would have a song almost in the Super Bowl, and that's a big win for me. Even though I didn't get those thousands and thousands of dollars, but it's my biggest brag, and I love it. So, but I ended up having a disco link that has sports songs. I have at least 5. I put their instrumentals in it, hi Gilda. I didn't know you're here, man. And then just like make sure that you email the right person, make sure that, and I found I found the music supervisor for Super Bowl by attending a sync conference, and I was volunteering at the sync conference, and I was helping all these supervisors, and it turned out one of them was telling me, oh yeah, I'm so busy, I have to submit something for Super Bowl right now, they want, and I'm like, oh, you are the Super Bowl guy, okay. I'm like, and after I helped him, I didn't ask him right away. I said, would you be kind enough to listen to a few songs? He goes like, yeah, send me everything. You've been great. I helped him first. So be of service for someone first, and then try to reach out. Christine, it depends. If I own everything, it depends of who I collaborate with. Some I I do own like most of my songs. I own 100% of the masters. Some I own 25%. Some I own 50%, depending on who I work with and what the deals are. Each
And
of my collaborations are different from the other.
do you use your own name under all of your different like genre
Not all of them,
catalogs?
depending on the collaboration. So
Yeah.
some,
Okay.
if I own it and I want to release it, I make sure with everybody that they're okay with that, and you know, because I created a team around me, so I pick and choose whoever I want to work with, depending on the genre and what I want to do. Some people, like I have a very amazing. I actually have a release tomorrow with an American Idol artist. I love working with this guy, and he has more than 1 million streams and whatnot. And I want him to release the songs. I don't want to release. I want him because I end up getting all these. I ended up having 350,000 streams because of him. Because of my collaborations with him. So it depends on what you want for yourself. When I release songs under my name, even though I'm not singing it, I feature the artist. And the reason why I do that, and that's why I'm considered an artist on Spotify, so that way I can showcase my songwriting and showing people that, hey, I can write those type of songs. So it really depends. You can't really, it's not a cookie cutter thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for everything, Mira. This was so great. So many good tips and resources too that people can refer to if they weren't aware of them before. So thank you so much for all this.
Thank you for inviting me.
Been
And if you guys have any
amazing.
questions, you can always reach out to me. I would love to
Thank
have
you.
lots of you guys.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, smile.
Let's do it. All right,
Yeah.
Amira, well,
That's
we're
great.
gonna follow you on Instagram. We're gonna follow your serendipities. Do you want to put that in the
Yeah,
chat?
I'm gonna look up your podcast now. That
My
sounds
podcast. Yeah, I'm just running. Yeah,
great.
I want people to actually understand that success comes in different forms. It's not just one thing, and pay attention to all kinds of pieces to it. With me, everything happens by coincidences. I have a lot of coincidences, so I picked that serendipity.
I love that.
I have a lot of good speakers on it. I'm currently working on season 2. I haven't started yet, but like it's coming up soon. But there's Dr. Fink. He was the keyboardist of Prince. That was a really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
And a whole bunch of
Oh,
amazing.
awesome. That's great. Cool.
I want to give a shout out to Gilda. Please follow him. He is the most talented person that I've ever met, and very inspirational. So actually, if you want to be inspired, follow him. So
great. Will do.
Okay, guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, this was so great. Good to see everybody. And hopefully we'll see you next week for Nick Maker.
Yes. Blessings,
Great.
Amira. Love you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
Thanks.